I do it all. I say the wrong thing. One time I was in youth group, and I was standing next to this most beautiful girl in our youth group, and the preacher was like, turn to the person next to you and say, God loves you. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect line. God loves you. And I was like, hey, Bob loves you. No. God. I'm not God. He's God. I'm his son. I'm not his son's son. I'm not Jesus. I'm not just shout to the Lord all the earth. I just got the iPhone, by the way, which I love. You got to get that. It does everything. It's amazing. I was just backstage using the deodorant app. I love how half of you laughed at that and the other half are like, does it do that? Because it thinks, I live just north of Houston. We have poisonous snakes. There was a snake in our backyard one day. I snuck up on it, and I went like that. I cut the snake in half is the point, and I protected my family. And it felt good for about a minute. Then my wife kind of ruined it because she opened up the back door and was like, honey, our cable went out. And I was like, oh. Time out? That's what somebody told us when we first had our oldest son, was they were like, time out. But then we got the James Dobson Strong-Willed Child book, and that helped us a lot because, it was thick enough that when we spanked him, I told that joke one night, and this lady came running up after the show. She was like, you're advocating child abuse. You should never spank your children. And I was like, have you read Proverbs where they talk about it? And she was like, that was different. That was the Old Testament. They didn't have time out back then. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, they did. What was the lion's den, huh?